If you can masturbate, then say, yep, I masturbated, then hit a 2-hour session of deep work after that, and then hit the gym. You will thrive. You will win, bro. If you're on self-improvement, you've probably tried NoFap. You've also failed NoFap a bunch of times, again and again falling into the habitual act of sitting at your desk, getting a boner, opening Pornhub, and jacking off. And then you sit there in shame and disgust, so fucking angry at yourself for failing again, for relapsing again, because this was gonna be the week. This was gonna be a week I'll be disciplined, and I fucked it up again. This type of thinking leads to what Mark Manson likes to call the feedback loop from hell. You're angry that you failed again. You're then angry for letting it mess up your entire mood. You then get angry about your mood having to depend on whether you touch your wee-wee or not. So that in turn makes you feel even more lazy and unproductive, unmotivated, pissed off. You then have ruined the mentality for the rest of the day. Now let me tell you, I've been there many times. Through the years of trying to quit PMO, I've learned many valuable things. But the most important thing I've learned must be that when you relapse, you must learn not to judge yourself for it. Do not allow the feedback loop from hell to consume you. Because let me tell you a rare truth. There's a very unhealthy and negative side to NoFap that for me was actually more damaging and more robbing of my productivity than PMO itself. Through many test runs, I have come to the conclusion. The fact that there is such a negative light shined upon porn within the self-improvement community makes relapsing cause a much more detrimental psychological effect than what the act itself would cause you. Let me explain with an anecdote. When I used to be much worse off mental health wise, maybe like 6 months ago, 8 months ago, I used to be balls deep in any kind of self-improvement. Because I was pretty desperately trying to improve it. NoFap was a big one, because you hear all these success stories of how it changed my life. The magical eye contact you get from girls, the kind of superhuman powers you receive through it, which in retrospection are mostly bullshit anyway, but it gave me something to improve on and hold on to. It was almost like a beacon of hope to improve my life. Partially because I made such huge promises. The fact that I held this to such a high regard made relapses way worse than they should have been. It caused relapses to be much more than just relapses. And dude, let me tell you, relapses happened. A lot. Obviously, after years of indulging in porn, after years of building the habit of watching porn and masturbating, add to that, it's the highest pleasure you are able to give yourself, to give your own brain on your own. Of course your brain is not gonna just give that up. Of course you can't just go, oh, mindset change, and then you're not gonna fucking do it ever again. Of course your brain is gonna take that dopamine hit that's gonna make you feel loved for 5 minutes. But here's the dark side. The kind of relapses caused some kind of negative thought pattern. Some kind of self-destructive thought pattern. Some form of you're not good enough feedback loop. It used to be so simple, right? I masturbate, then I'll be a little bit more tired, brain fog, I feel kind of shit, unmotivated, my dopamine sensitivity is off, right? And yeah, that's the whole point of NoFap. Like, fapping is the shit, it's bad. But after going the extremist self-improvement route, with bad mental health, and in general being a person that's very hard on himself, it became very almost psychologically damaging for me to relapse. Simply because I painted such a bad, negative, and weak picture on PMO that giving into the addiction made me feel like a fuck up for the rest of the day. Now, in general, that's the goal, isn't it? Like, you want porn and masturbation to be connected with negative thoughts. It's supposed to make you think and say, well, your own fault, you fucking idiot. Relapse again, moron. Well, yes, but we forget two very important aspects to this. It's that most people on self-improvement have shit mental health starting out. They have no control over their emotions, their anger, their self-worth, no discipline. Secondly, Most young men are extremely addicted to pornography. I was too. It's the biggest pleasure you can possibly give yourself. If you're a young man and you're lonely, low value, have nothing going on for you, of course you're gonna be addicted to porn. Of course your brain can't just quit. So relapsing is actually normal and part of the process. It's okay. But through the information bombarding on the topic, it made it seem for me like relapsing made me the biggest fuck up loser ever walked the planet Earth. This combined makes relapsing have an effect of severe negative self-talk, getting extremely emotional, either angry, sad, or disappointed. For me it was mainly anger, and affects your thoughts for the rest of the day or week, more so than if you would have just relapsed. And think about it. Without the knowledge self-improvement gave you on this topic, would you have this reaction? Probably not. You would feel kinda shit after masturbating and be less dopamine sensitive, of course. That's like the point in stopping. But as long as you're disciplined, have your vision and are on self-improvement in general, I think it's actually less mentally damaging to masturbate than to have this spiral of negative thought through the act of relapsing, because that truly damages mental health. Now, of course, the ideal outcome is to be on NoFap, have good mental health, don't relapse, but that's a long journey. The solution to this, once again, like with so many aspects on self-improvement, is to improve your mental health first, actively, because mental health is an actual thing you can work on. I want you to see it separately. Nowadays, with solid mental health, I say, oh shucks, that sucks. I just relapsed. I really need to work to control my urges better. I'll make some notes on what led to this, maybe the environment I was in, or some kind of trigger that caused this. Because I think, habitually, sitting at my desk causes me to masturbate 200% more likely. This is what you want. Reflection and improvement. Fuck feeling bad about relapsing. Then I move on and act like it never happened. I don't sit there in negative thought patterns anymore. I don't sit there in this feedback loop of spiraling downwards in fucking bad mental health. Putting myself down for it, deliberating about what I should have done and what I could have done instead with this time I wasted. And oh, now I can't be productive because I relapsed. Because that, in truth, is the only thing that will lead to unproductivity and brain fog and a bad day. Drowning in it. It's literally all mindset. If you can masturbate, then say, yep, I masturbated, then hit a 2-hour session of deep work after that, and then hit the gym. You will thrive. You will win, bro. Now, I do have one tip I want to share with you about not relapsing, like an actual practical tip, because I like to include at least one form of practicality in each of my videos, so you can walk away with a feeling of mindset value, but also a feeling of practical value you can apply immediately. If you get urges, note where you get them from. For me, like 80% of the relapses happen because I'm doing work on my desk. It is so connected to PMO that the habit is very deeply rooted in my brain. If you make notes of the spots or acts that make you actively relapse or want to relapse, you know, for me it's my desk, for some it might be the bed, for some it might be the bathroom, anything. Then you will have these mental reminders whenever you get an urge of knowing why you have the urge and actively being able to do something to prevent it. Like, oh, I should masturbate right now. Fuck. Why am I having this thought? It's because I'm in my bed in the morning with morning wood, and that's what I used to do every day for years. So maybe I should just get up, do some push-ups, and then that urge will probably go away. This also directly brings me to my next, even more valuable tip for me. If you have an urge, a strong one you can't suppress, immediately go do something. It doesn't matter what. Push-ups. Go start a new work project, play piano, meditate, grab a book and read, do some journaling, do some gratitude. Look over your goals, take a walk, go outside, structure your day, grab a book and sit somewhere to read it where you can't possibly think of the connection of masturbating. Like on your kitchen floor or some shit, right? On the bathroom floor. I don't give a fuck. Anything that hinders you from it and anything that disrupts the habitual connection of horny masturbating and changes it to urge, do something productive, because that's the goal. We're doing it so the habit of I'm horny gets immediately connected to doing something productive. That's a long journey, but that's the end goal. And once you master that, think of how incredibly powerful that is for all kind of for all kinds of self-control. Instead of habitually pulling out your phone on the bus stop, you're gonna pull out your Kindle and read a page or two. Like, you can train this in many aspects. I'm really still working on that myself. Like, this is one thing I really want to improve on, especially this month and last month. I've been focusing on it. It's hard. It's tough. All these fucking micro habits of, I don't know, taking a piss and using your phone or something, right? If you want my exact aesthetic body routine, or if you want 5 practical ways to embrace the uncomfortable in social public situations and step outside your comfort zone, and to practice that, scroll down in the description and click the link and I'll send it straight to your email for free. Send this video to a friend who's struggling with NoFap, and subscribe to me if you like me and if I helped you. Take care.